Before the first word is spoken in this courtroom today, I need everyone to understand exactly what is at stake here. What you are about to witness is not simply a traffic violation. It is not just a case of speeding. It is a direct collision between political power and absolute justice, a collision between the belief that a last name is a shield and the reality that in this room, nobody is above the law. On one side, we have a young man raised in the corridors of power, believing his father's influence extends into these chambers. On the other side sits the law. I have served on this bench for over 2 decades. I have seen the poorest citizens of this city stand here with dignity, accepting their mistakes. And I have seen the powerful stand here with contempt, demanding special treatment. Today, we define who we are as a society. The defendant standing before me is Mr. Julian Sterling. He is 25 years old. He is a graduate of an Ivy League university. He resides in the exclusive Silver Lake District. And yes, for those whispering in the back, he is the son of Senator Marcus Sterling, a man who helps write the laws of this country. But let me be clear, Senator Sterling is not on trial today. His son is. Let's look at the facts. They are terrifying. On Tuesday, October 15th, at 2:45 in the afternoon, precisely the time elementary school children are being dismissed, Mr. Sterling was operating a 2024 Ferrari F8 Tributo. This creates a distinct image, a vehicle with 710 horsepower, a vehicle designed for a racetrack, not a school zone. Officer James Miller, a 15-year veteran of the force, clocked this vehicle on Washington Avenue. The speed limit is strictly 20 miles per hour when lights are flashing. Mr. Sterling was clocked at 88 miles per hour. Let that sink in. 88 and a 20. He wasn't driving. He was piloting a missile through a crowd of children. But the speed is only the beginning. It is what happened next that brought us here. When Officer Miller activated his lights, Mr. Sterling did not pull over immediately. He drove for another mile, finally stopping in a no parking zone in front of a coffee shop. When Officer Miller approached the window, he didn't ask for a license and registration. Mr. Sterling, I have the transcript of the body cam footage right here. Do you know what you said to this officer, to a man wearing a uniform, risking his life to protect those children? You didn't say, "I'm sorry." You didn't say, "I was in a rush." You rolled down your window, looked Officer Miller in the eye and said, "Do you have any idea who I am? Call the senator right now, or I promise you, you will be a security guard at a mall by tomorrow morning." You threatened a public servant with your father's power. You tried to weaponize your lineage to evade consequences. You genuinely believed that the rules of physics and the laws of this state stop applying the moment you mention your last name. Since that incident on the roadside, my chambers have been unusually busy. I want to address something that usually remains hidden in the shadows of the judicial system. In the last 48 hours, my office received 3 phone calls from a number registered to a private office in the United States Senate. We also received a letter on official letterhead suggesting that this was merely a youthful indiscretion and that a suspended sentence would be the most appropriate course of action for a bright young man with a promising future. Let me be absolutely clear so there is no confusion in this room or outside of it. Those calls were not returned. That letter has been shredded. The attempt to influence this court using political stature is not a mitigating factor, Mr. Sterling. It is an aggravating one. It tells me that you and your family believe the justice system is a marketplace where favors can be traded. It tells me you have learned absolutely nothing. You asked Officer Miller a question. You asked, "Do you have any idea who I am?" Since you seem confused, allow me to answer that for you today. In this courtroom, you are not a senator's son. You are not a VIP. You are not a member of the elite. You are a defendant who drove a deadly weapon at nearly 90 miles per hour through a zone designed to protect our most vulnerable citizens. You are an individual who threatened a law enforcement officer with unemployment simply for doing his job. You stand there in a tailored suit, looking bored, looking at your watch, perhaps wondering when you can get back to your life of comfort. But you are not going back to that life today. You gambled on your privilege, and you lost. I have looked at your driving record. This is not the first time. It is just the first time you couldn't make it disappear. Speeding tickets in 3 different states, all dismissed, all swept under the rug. That creates a monster. That creates a mindset that says laws are for other people. Well, the rug has been pulled back and the dirt is exposed. Mr. Sterling, please rise. On the charge of reckless driving in a school zone, I am sentencing you to the maximum penalty allowed by state law. That is 90 days in the county correctional facility, and I want to be specific. You will not be served in a private wing. You will not have special accommodations. You will be in the general population where your last name holds no currency. On the charge of attempted intimidation of a law enforcement officer, I am adding an additional 60 days to be served consecutively. That is a total of 150 days behind bars. You will be taken into custody immediately. The bailiff is moving behind you now. Furthermore, I am revoking your driver's license for a period of 5 years. When that period is over, you will not simply get it back. You will start from zero, taking the learner's permit test, proving you understand the rules of the road like any other 16-year-old beginner. And finally, regarding the fine. The statute allows for a fine of $5,000. For you, that is pocket change. It is meaningless. So instead of a fine that goes to the state, I am ordering 500 hours of community service upon your release. Specifically, you will be assigned to the sanitation department. You threatened to make Officer Miller a security guard. You will spend the next year picking up trash on the very streets you treated like your personal racetrack. To the father who tried to make those phone calls, let this be a lesson. You can give your children money, you can give them connections, but you cannot give them character. That they have to earn. And if you don't teach them respect for the law at home, a judge like me will teach them in a cell. Officer, take him away. Court is adjourned.